Ever wanted to take your trusty factory Tikka rifle and turn it into an absolute sniper monster? Well, today that's exactly what we're diving into. First things first, let's clear up a big misconception. The sniper is a person, not the gun. After the recent high-profile sniper attack that tragically killed Charlie Kirk, a lot of folks were talking about the sniper rifle used. Remember, the term sniper refers to the highly skilled marksman behind the trigger. The rifle's just a tool. That said, the right tool can seriously boost the effectiveness of the shooter. So let's wake everyone up to this fact and then get into how you can upgrade your Tikka rifle into a long-range precision beast. Upgrade number 1, drop it in a rock-solid stock or chassis. The number 1 upgrade that can transform your Tikka's performance is swapping the factory stock for a high-end stock or chassis system. The factory Tikka stocks, especially on models like the T3X Lite CTR, are made of polymer. They're light and decent for general use, but they have some flex and ergonomic limitations. When you're trying to shoot like a sniper, prone on the ground or off a tripod, stock stiffness and fit matter a lot. I've always wanted to test this, and I finally did. I took a factory Tikka T3X CTR and 6.5 Creedmoor, box stock with a 20-inch barrel, and shot groups with the original stock, then swapped it into a high-end Manners LRH TK composite stock, which has an integrated mini chassis, to see the difference. The results blew me away. Out of the box, the rifle shot a respectable group at 100 yards, about an inch or so. But I did notice something. The shooting position was not very comfortable. The factory stock didn't have an adjustable cheek piece, and I found myself straining my neck to get a good sight picture through the scope. The cone was too low for a perfect cheek weld. This is something many Tikka owners experience. The ergonomics are made to fit most people okay, but not perfectly for precision work. I also felt the forend flex a bit when using a bipod or tripod clamp. It's not flimsy per se, but under stress you can tell it's not as rigid as a chassis or fiberglass stock. Now, dropping that same rifle into the Manners LRH stock was a game changer. In the very first shot, I could immediately feel better recoil control and comfort. The Manners LRH TK has an integral micro chassis with a steel recoil lug that the Tikka action bolts into. This means the action's held more securely than in the factory plastic stock, which use a polymer recoil lug insert. Result? Consistency. That very first 3-shot group at 100 yards with the new stock was basically a clover leaf, all shots touching nearly through the same hole. I was honestly shocked to see a factory rifle print groups that tight with just a stock swap. It went from roughly 1 MOA groups to bug hole groups, sub-half MOA. That stock upgrade gave an immediate increase in accuracy, fit, feel, and function, just as the manufacturer claims. No tedious bedding or gunsmithing needed. It was truly a drop-in improvement. If you've made it this far and you're finding this info useful, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps out. Now, let's get into a few more upgrades and considerations to complete the transformation. Upgrade number 2, optics. See far, shoot far. A rifle that can shoot tiny groups is only as effective as the shooter's ability to aim small. For sniper-level shooting, you'll want a high-quality scope. This is not the place to skimp out. In our build, I mounted an Arkin 416x50 scope, which offered shockingly good glass quality for the price. For long-range work, something in the 10x to 20x range on the top end is common. Too much magnification can hurt field of view and clarity image, so a variable like 4 to 16x or 5 to 25x is great. You need to dial elevation or use holdovers accurately. Good scopes will have precise, repeatable turrets. In many cases, the Arkin's turrets were tactile and track true, making it easy to adjust 0 and dial out to 550 yards without issue. The sniper-style scope should hold 0 under recoil and possibly rough field conditions. Look for well-built optics, often rated for bigger calibers. A useful reticle, like mil-dot, MOA hash marks, or Christmas tree style, helps for holding over or wind calls. Many precision scopes come with such reticles. Mount the scope with quality rings or one-piece mount. You don't want that optic moving. On my Tikka, the scope held 0 perfectly even after swapping stocks and banging around in the field. Pro tip: bore sight and zero your rifle at 100 yards after making upgrades. We bore sighted our Tikka and it was on paper at 100 yards from the first shot. After a few sighting shots and clicks on the scope, we were punching the center out of the bullseye. Upgrade number 3, precision trigger control. Luckily, Tikka triggers are pretty good from the factory, usually a single stage trigger that banks cleanly at around 2 to 3 pounds. That's already decent for precision shooting. In fact, in my test, I left the factory trigger untouched and it worked great, breaking clean and consistent. If your rifle sees double duty as a hunting gun, around a 2 to 3 pound trigger is a safe weight. If you're going purely target sniper mode and you want it lighter, You can adjust the factory Tikka trigger a bit, or drop in an aftermarket trigger if desired. Companies like Timney and Rifle Basics offer trigger upgrades for Tikkas, but honestly, you might not need it. If your trigger's crisp and you can break the shot without jerking, that's what matters. The example rifle's trigger felt about 2.5 pounds with a very crisp break, which was enough to print one-hole groups when I did my part. The key is practice good trigger discipline. Smooth press straight back, no flinch. The greatest rifle in the world won't save you if you're yanking the trigger or shivering from excitement. This is where the sniper is the person concept really comes in. A true marksman focuses on breathing, trigger squeeze, and follow through every shot. Upgrade number 4, long-range accessories, bipods, suppressors, etc. To complete your Sniper Monster Tikka, consider a few additional accessories. Bipod. When not using a tripod, a sturdy bipod, Harris, Atlas, etc. attached to an upfront rail or sling stud helps you shoot prone with stability. We shot prone on the ground for our 100-yard test using a bipod and a rear bag, simulating a real-world field test. The bipod provides a stable front support, and a sandbag or backpack can support the rear of the stock. Tripod with saddle or Arca clamp. As demonstrated in our test, a tripod can be a game changer for shooting from uneven terrain or when prone isn't possible. With the Arca rail on the aftermarket stock, I was able to clamp the rifle directly to a ball head tripod mount. It essentially frees you from having to find a perfect prone position. You can stand or sit and still have a steady sight picture. This is useful in hunting. Imagine needing to shoot over tall grass or brush in impractical rifle competitions. The tripod allows us to engage the 550-yard target with ease once the rifle was properly set up for it. Muzzle device. My Tikka came threaded from the factory, so I attached a suppressor during the test. You can also use a muzzle brake. A suppressor adds a few benefits. It tamps down recoil a bit, reduces the blast, saving your ears and reducing noise of hunting, and it often doesn't hurt accuracy, sometimes even improves it by altering barrel harmonics. A muzzle brake will reduce recoil and muzzle jump significantly too, though at the cost of increased noise and blast to the sides. Either way, managing recoil is important to keep your sights on target for quick follow-up shots. Quality ammo. This is an often overlooked upgrade. Even the best rifle will shoot poorly with inconsistent ammo. For precision work, use match-grade ammunition or carefully hand-loaded rounds. In our case, we used Hornady Factory 147 grain ELD match 6.5 Creedmoor ammo, and it performed excellently, essentially stacking shots on top of each other. Find a round your Tikka likes. Many Tikkas are known to shoot well with 140 grain or 130 grain class bullets in 6.5 Creed, or match grade 308 if that's your caliber. Try a few types and zero in on the tightest group. We've beefed up the rifle. Now a quick note on the shooter, since a sniper rifle is nothing without a skilled sniper behind it. Practice and training are the name of the game. If you want to truly earn the title of Sniper Monster for your setup, you as the operator need to practice long-range shooting fundamentals. Prone position, natural point of aim, reading wind, dialing dope, elevation adjustments, and using reticle holdovers. Learn your ballistics. Know how your bullet drops at various distances, how wind affects it, etc. Modern ballistic apps or Kestrel weather meters can help. You should also practice estimating and making those calls. Stress testing. Try shooting from uncomfortable positions. As I joked in the video, I got uncomfortable laying in wet mud for you guys, but there's a reason. You likely won't always have a perfect bench rest in the field. Shoot off a backpack, off a barricade, kneeling, etc. The more you can hit targets in odd scenarios, the more you're channeling that sniper prowess. Remember the story from the Charlie Kirk incident? The shot was about 200 yards, a distance any decent shooter with the right gear can cover. But doing it under pressure with one shot, no second chances, likely from a rooftop, that took either luck or skill. A trained sniper is defined by keeping calm under such pressure. So practice under time limits and heartbeat elevating conditions. Try sprinting 50 yards in taking a shot to see how well you can shoot with adrenaline. That's how you turn yourself into a sharper shooter. By now, your factory Tikka is not so factory anymore. It's a custom-tuned precision rifle. We've got a rigid stock, clear glass, a crisp trigger, stable support, and a knowledgeable shooter behind it. This is the recipe for what I call a sniper monster. Now you've got a sniper rifle set up that's dying to stretch its legs. All that's left is to get out there and train like a sniper. Take it to the range, zero it, practice at 100, 300, 600 yards as far as you have access to. You're going to gain confidence in both the rifle and yourself. There's nothing quite like the feeling of drilling a target at half a kilometer and knowing it was you who made that shot possible, with a little help from your well-oiled Tikka, of course. If you enjoyed this deep dive and transformation of a factory rifle into a long-range monster, let me know. Drop a comment with your thoughts or questions. Maybe you have other stock or chassis recommendations or other Tikka upgrade tips. I'd love to hear them.